Good day, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Neatbuilding. And today we are going to be doing something fairly unusual for me, which is building a truck. Because a new Captain Cocker's challenge has just dropped, and it's about building a container truck. And I have already built a shell for it, but I have not built an engine for it. And I can't scroll far enough to show you that there's no engine, but just believe me here for a second. Or maybe we can look with the camera. Yeah, no engine. Also, one interesting thing about the camera, and I'm getting sidetracked here, is that hide player just doesn't work. That's weird. I submitted it to the backtracker, but I guess they didn't see it. So yeah, we are going to be working on the engine in the first part of the video, and in the second, that will be most of the logic and gearing and transmission and all that. So let's get into building it. Now, before we actually start building, I want to ask a quick question, and that is, would you like a building series in Minecraft? As in something like Neatbuilding, but sometimes I build something in Minecraft. Because I've been steadily getting back into creative building, mainly with architecture and all that. So, would that be interesting or would it not? Now, with that, let's go and build the engine. So, firstly, we should clean up and see what we're working with here. And it looks like this is pretty fine of a space here. Maybe move this back by one block, and let's just put a rudimentary little dashboard here. If I can merge this. And that should be fine. Good. Now we have way more space inside of here. Yeah, we have a lot of space. So that's good. It's always good to have a lot of space to work with. Now, how many cylinders should we have? Because I am going to be using modulars. How many cylinders? Let me actually check how many cylinders trucks like this have in the real world, because I'm not the best at trucks. Now Google is saying it's around 6 or 8. So I think if we do 9, it should work, because the Stormworks engines are a bit less powerful than the real ones, I believe. I think the Stormworks engines are 2 strokes instead of 4-stroke engines that would be used on these scales. So I don't know, don't quote me on that, because I'm not sure. But yeah, let's connect them up with a manifold, because I always forget that. Now let's get into adding air and fuel. So that should be quite quick. Now exhaust. And I think it would be better to place the exhaust somewhere here, so we have enough space for coolant. Yeah, that's a good idea. Now we need to get a good space for a radiator. I think this should fit. And connect it up. Now we should definitely get a pump and also get a gas relief valve, since this is the new update and we need stuff like that. So let's get some pipes prepared. like that. And I just connect this up here and connect this one down into here. That should be pretty fine. And if this is not enough power, we can just connect or add some cylinders down here because we have space. And that's great. Now I think I'm gonna add a turbocharger here, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'll have space for it. Technically we can put a pump through here, but I don't know if that's maybe gonna make this whole space a bit cluttered. But I don't know. Let's get an air filter. Boom. And that's gonna be a gas relief valve. And now, do we need an expansion tank on this? I think we do. Yeah, I think we do. So just to be safe, let's add an expansion tank. So just a small one. And this will be pipe angle. And maybe doesn't really matter, does it? Let's just add that gas relief valve somewhere here. The Stormworks editor camera is really bad in small spaces. And then what's it called? Some part? Yes, part and great. This should make the coolant work. So I guess connect up of this stuff. Arrays connected. Let's connect fuel. And I have already made a fuel tank here, so that's good. And before I actually forget, let's add a small tank to the coolant system. Let's do this. Let's make this fresh water. Let's just make that unfilled. Now connect the fuel into the tank. So do we have space here? Can I just whatever. No one's gonna see that really. So it doesn't matter much. Oop. And let's run it from here to here. So we can have a part here. Nice. And now let's run the exhaust pipe in here. So we're gonna go through here. Gonna add a pipe here. A pipe here. And another enclosed pipe there. And then we'll run it from here to like there. An exhaust here. That should work. Or maybe, yeah, I think I'm going to go for an exhaust like here for that like tall pipe. Which may make it not fit into a car ferry. But I don't know if it already doesn't fit. Which I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So I don't have to care about that. Now let's get the pipe here, get the enclosed, and make the exhaust thing that. And just to improve the looks of things, let's add some catalytic converters. Maybe just two, so we don't maybe stress the engine too much, but we'll see. We'll see when we try the engine if it works. And then if it doesn't, we may wanna remove those just for testing. And everything should be connected, right? It should. So that means that we can move on to the second part, which is adding key and adding an engine controller. So I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna load up our mining car that we made in I don't know which episode, and we use this for mining uranium. And I'm going to take the engine controller because I don't know if I have it saved in this state. No, does it fit here? It does. But I'm not gonna put it here, I'm just gonna put it here for easier access so far. Maybe I could change the place of this someday, but not now. Starter. Where's the starter? Oh yeah, I forgot the starter. That's fine. I'm just gonna put 3 of these for quick starting. Oh, nice. And let's connect these up to starters, not reverse. Oh, did they change the noise on this? No, I just heard that weirdly. That's weird. And RPS, throttle, gonna do WS. Fuel is here, R here. And clutch, yeah, we forgot RPS, that's the thing we forgot. Let's get a clutch here and get a pipe. Maybe I'm not gonna be doing the front gears so far. If maybe we'll see. If the engines are too powerful, I might connect them to the front. But yeah. Now let's connect this. Let's make that like that. Let's make this into pipes. So let's get some enclosed ones so we don't get any leaking diesel. That would not be good. And connect this. Then delete these. And just get some pipes to connect them with. And then which pipe? This one, cross pipe here. And a T pipe. Yes, T pipe here. Perfect. Now that should be fine. Looks good. Let's do clutch here. Max RPS. I'm not sure what I used that for. Let me save it and let's see with the minecar. So this was just here. This is a flip switch. Max RPS. Did I use for max RPS? That there. Oh, I limited the RPS to some amount. I'm just gonna limit that to 20. And believe there was a controller for the transmission, but where in the world was it? Ah, there we go. That's what we wanted. Now place it here, and should have enough space. And up down, max sensitivity. That's left right. That's up down. And that's just gonna be all of the. Do we connect it now, or we might as well do that? So let's steal the transmission from this, and oh god, that's a lot of transmission here. And so this should be reverse, good. It's one. That's alright. So gears 1 and 2 are connected to 2 gears. That's all I needed to know. Let's place this down. Even the color fits perfect. And so this is reverse. I'm not sure if yes, we do have reverse here. This is gonna be parking brake. I'm gonna connect this to these. And now gear 1, gear 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now I don't know. Well, I don't know if it's a good idea to actually connect the gears so early, but yeah, we'll see. And let's steal quite possibly the last thing from here, which is these 2 panels. And for now, let's put them on that dashboard we made. Now let's see what I'm supposed to connect. So this one is going to be the gear number. This is going to be on, off, park, brake, reverse. This engine. Alright, we don't need this. It's hazard lights, speed, PS. I'm just gonna delete that. Because we don't need it, we can just use dials for the speed and RPS. So we don't need that. Let's get the function block so we can convert the speed to kilometers per hour because I am a European. and I like metric system because it's better. Now let's get speed. So it's gonna be a linear speed sensor. And connect here. So speed, RPS. This is nothing fancy, but it will work. Hopefully. It needs to work. Now I'm gonna get a 1x1 controller and just make it work with this. Right, that's all I need to know. So we'll have it be like this. Actually, no. No. Free length. So we're gonna have 3 of these nodes here. Are on-off nodes and 1 numerical or number node and 1 composite output. Perfect. And let's see. So it's gonna be 1 is gonna be the gear number. And yes, I know that I forgot to connect it, but we can connect it later. And I again don't know what I did here. Oh. Actually, now that makes sense. That makes way more sense. Alright, let's just break this. No. Connect it from here, like that. And we should be all set. I think we are. Let's spawn it. And I'm pretty sure something's gonna fail, because that always happens. Alright, it runs. Sorta. We might want to have a backlight. So we can actually see what gear we're in. And turn it on. Gear 1, it doesn't seem to like it. No, it doesn't seem to like anything. It doesn't seem to like moving. Oh yeah, I think I know why. Because we are limiting it to a nice speed or a nice RPS of 0. That's why. There we go. Let's do 20 for testing purposes. We can just lower that if we want. So let's see now. No, it's still doing that. I'm pretty sure we might want to add more gears, but we'll see about that. If it's maybe too much for the engine. So what's it doing? Let's add a few more dials. Let's add an air dial. It's gonna be air. And a clutch dial. Although that actually should be pretty much the same, shouldn't it? Not sure. And R. Let's see what it does. if or to see where the problem is. Alright. Might be why. Okay. Do I have... Oh, that's why. Problem solved. And gearing works. And we can even go into reverse. Although it sounds terrible. But it works. So that's all we need. Now, I think I'm gonna do the steering first. So we'll just get... Maybe let's just get a 1x1 controller. Wrong one. This one. And make a steering thingy. So we can reuse it. And boom. Let's get steering. And get output to left wheel and right wheel. And speed. We need speed. Speed here. Perfect. I'm just gonna do it in meters per second. And so you don't need to change the speed before you feed it to the controller. So for that I'll need to times it by 3.6. And now we will use the speed to see if or how much we should clamp the steering. So we'll use, let's use a number, tooltip number, no, property number. That's what we want. Just do like that. And alright. And let's do speed of no steering. Let's do 200. For now. That might be a bit too much, but we'll see when we try it out. So we'll have this as y and x divided by y. That should work. And have and then we should do all that minus 1. Let's make this all absolute. Now let's get another function block for the sake of simplicity. And let's clamp. Let's clamp x, or no, let's clamp. No. Let's clamp x bit. Alright, now this time it will work. Clamp x between of y and z. So y is just gonna be 0. Z is gonna be this. Great. And let's feed that to, I don't know which wheel, let's just do it right for now. Let's get a function block to invert it. So x times minus 1. Great. And yeah, do this. Put it in here. Great. And this should work. This should make the steering pretty good. And so that's gonna be left wheel. It's gonna be right wheel. And that's gonna be speed. This. And variable brake will be invert of that throttle. This here. Boom. Connected up. Great. And now, because why not? I think I could maybe get function blocks. Get right wheel, left wheel. And divide this by 2. Divide both of these by 2. And connect them to the wheels here. So we maybe could get more steering. Let's see. Do they actually steer in the right direction? Ah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about something. That is, you don't actually need to invert. Yeah. Yeah, you need to clamp it between X and... You need to clamp it between inverted Z and Z. Should do X divided X times -1. So this should make it steer in both directions. So let's see. Perfect. Now may make it a bit more sensitive. We'll see. Alright, yeah, that needs to be more sensitive. But so far so good. Speed is nice. Maybe a bit too much for second gear. Yeah, way too much for third gear. Let's see fourth. Yeah, that's way too much for fourth gear. Yeah, we need way lower of a decline between those gears. And also, we might want more gears. May want to go for like 10 on first gear. And 140 on the last one. Yeah, so that's gonna be some gear shenaniganry. But the steering is fine. Just needs to be a lot more sensitive. That's all that is. So that should be good. So let's just ride down the hill back into the hangar. Because why not? Yeah, the steering should be fine. I know there is better, or there are some ways to make the steering even better, and I'm gonna to check those out. But yeah, this should generally work. So let's, yeah, in the here. Oh, I think I made something else more sensitive. Oh yeah, I did. Let's make this like 25. That should work. Yeah. Now the gearing. Oh no, what a pain. So what I'm seeing here is the engine has a lot of power. So let's get some of these out. And let's slowly decrease it with more gears there. So that's gonna be number 2 gear. Gear number 2 here. And we'll just decrease it to 9 to 5. Now let's do gear 3 to 3 to 1s. Let's make gear 4 a 3 to 1 and a 9 to 5. Perfect. Let's connect that. And then 5 can be just a 3 to 1. So let's do that. And now we're gonna do a bit of a more steady decline, as in we'll do or slower decline. We are not going to jump straight to the 9 to 5, but we're just gonna do 2 to 1. On what's that? That's 6th gear, I believe. Yeah, that's 6th gear. Let's connect that. And connect 7th gear. I can't find it. There we go. Connect 7th gear to this. And that's a ratio of 9 to 5. 8th gear and 9th gear will be here. And those will be 9 to 5, 3 to 2, 6 to 5, and that's it. Or maybe let's just not have those, because we can just lower the RPS and it will still produce ungodly amounts of power. So we don't need that in any way. Good. Delete the old gearing. And drive it. So let's see. Let's turn it on. And let's go into 1 gear. That's good. That's gonna be for things like getting the containers on and loading stuff and all that. Now let's do gear 2. Great. Gear 3. Getting some speed here. Gear 4. It's nice. 5. Gonna be 50. 52. 6. Now we're getting to some speed. And I'm gonna just get to the end of the runway, see what 7 and 8 and 9 does. Or actually no, 7 is the max. 6 is gonna be... let it get to speed. 60, let's say. 7 is nice. We're gonna make it to 90 before we fall into the water. Yes, we do. Right, yeah. So that's some power, considering that we're limiting it to gear ratio and quite a low RPS. Now I know this is probably a terrible way to do the gearing, but I'm just gonna do it this way. And now considering that we're only getting to a pretty low speed with that, let's do 10. Great. So here, and I'm not actually very much scared about doing the gears and stuff, because that should be easy. But I'm scared about displaying the value, because I don't know how those displays work. And let's lengthen it, because we'll need 3 gears here, so that, like that. So gear 8, gear 9, gear 10. Perfect, so 10 gear transmission, and that should work. 8, 9, 10, perfect. And where are they? Here they are. Uh-oh. I made them out inputs. They need to be outputs. Alright. And wait, let's do this. Great, this works. Connect them to the number. There we go. And we should be fine. Now, how do we display it? Let's see what it does when it reaches 10. Do I have it saved? Yes. So let's save it as this. So we can have a 10 gear transmission. So gear 8, gear 9, gear 10. And considering this is pretty big of an eyesore, let's just make it a bit more compact. It's not gonna work. Well, let's make it less compact. Then I'll do that when I reach the aesthetics phase. Now it doesn't matter. Is it all connected? It should be. So let's see how it deals with higher gears like that. Let's go into 6th gear. Doesn't wanna display more. Is it clamped? I'm pretty sure it's clamped. Let's see. Yeah, yes, it is clamped. So let's just clamp it to 10. Clamp is enabled here too. So let's clamp it to 10. Alright. There we go. Now it should register those as valid inputs. And now it's actually losing the RPS. And now it's very much losing the RPS. So that's just too much for it to handle. Right, so 7th gear is just the limit. Alright, I see. That's interesting. Maybe 6th gear even. Maybe 6th gear is the limit here. Could be. If we shift... No, it's still getting to higher RPS, but then... Yeah, 7 is the highest we can go. If we don't increase RPS. Which we might just want to do. Oh no. God damn it. This always happens. This is so annoying. And after it happens, the engine usually just stalls like that. This always happens with Stormworks engines. At least for me. This is annoying. So let's maybe... One thing I've seen solve the issue is when you add a clutch here in front of it. I don't know why. Or, no, I have no clue why. But it sometimes solves it. So let's just get that there. Now, then we don't have to worry about all of that, so that doesn't matter. We don't have to worry about displaying it. So it's all fine. We'll save it and get rid of these unnecessary gears here. And maybe, yeah, higher the RPS, the max RPS, so 16. Now spawn it and let's see. So yeah, that makes it reach a higher speed. And at 5th gear it reaches a nice 70 kilometers per hour, 6, 80 and going up, 90. Alright, I think that's good. I think that's pretty good. I don't want to stall the engine out by just switching gears, but should be fine. And that's a 70. It's an 80. The runway is just too short for this. Maybe we could just make the gears automatically fall when you reach a certain RPS. So it just lowers them for you when it knows that it's a problem. Right, I see. Good. So let's just do that. And I think we could be done at that point. So let's see. So that would be down. So if the RPS is in the threshold of, let's do, well, it's gonna be 0 and higher is gonna be 2.5. And that is going to be, that's gonna warrant lowering. Or when do you enable, it's gonna be in that other thing, right? That's gonna be in the other controller, right? Pretty sure, yeah. But when do you enable starters? That's my question. Let's check. So starters is below 3. So let's maybe make that higher to alright. I forgot to update it. Yeah. Let's make this higher. Perfect. And we should be fine with that. So let's spawn it and see. And start. Uh-oh. This is a bit problematic. Because when you start it doesn't wanna go up. Oh. Okay. That's all fine. Because I mean you shouldn't be switching to gears. That you shouldn't be switching to. Oh. Oh god. This is becoming very unstable. That's 100 kilometers an hour. Alright. That makes sense because I was going over the hill. Yeah, so there are some issues with it. But most of the time it works fine. And yeah, I should definitely firstly divide those back wheels by a lot more, like 3, maybe even 4, so that steering isn't so visible. And definitely lower the max speed on that steering. But other than that, and also maybe having there be a speed for Do we wanna do that? Do we wanna give each gear a special speed? As in, when you're like in 7th gear, if you go above, I don't know, 120 kilometers an hour, it's gonna switch into 6 to stabilize it a bit, or I don't know. Oop, that was not good. So yeah, let's definitely lower that to like 130. Let's divide that by 4. And what I'm curious about is what does this do? Or what? Okay. It reverses by itself. What we what we wa- what we may wanna do is have this be reverse instead of parking brake. So like this would be that. Yeah, so reverse is at 0, park brake is at -1. Do we want that? We may we may as well do it. So let's see. Let's try this out. That means that it spawns on park brake on default or by default, and it's gonna do that. Or actually, um, let's make it incapable of shifting below 1 or below gear 1, yeah. So if this, let's do that to 7. Let's get an and connect it here, and that's gonna be if the RPS is below that, and if the gears are in between 1 and 7, then you can shift down. So that means, but that also means that we won't spawn on parking brake, which is a bit annoying. We will spawn on reverse. Now that is very annoying. Let's see. So I don't know. What do we do with that? So do we interchange park brake and reverse again? The answer is I don't know. Maybe. Maybe, yeah. Maybe actually I think I know why, because it's at 0 by default. Yeah, no, what actually... Right, it even resets. That's great that I thought about that back then. And now the thing is, with the speed switching, or with switching down when the speed is too high, Let's say the 7 gear 7 speed is 100 kilometers an hour, perhaps. And so when it reaches above 100, then it's gonna switch into gear 6. And let's say for gear 6, that speed is 80. And now it's still at 100, so it's gonna switch down and it's gonna go all the way down to 1 if you go slightly above the max gear speed. So no, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, that's not a good idea. So let's do it this way. Let's keep it like this. And let's go on a smaller ride around the island and see if there are any problems with it. Because I'm pretty sure this should be the finished version. Or very close to being finished. As in considering the transmission. So that's looking good. I think we can switch up. Or shift up. That's looking great for almost the highest gear. And the steering is looking fine too. Maybe I could decrease the sensitivity. I could definitely decrease the sensitivity on this. Maybe to like 15%, because I think it's at 25. Let's switch down quickly. Or shift down. Why do I keep saying switch instead of shift? The answer is I have no clue. Might be the sleep deprivation. Let's not talk about that. And good. Also, like, completely unrelated, I have been steadily working on Compellion, which is that very fast new nuclear ship, and that's not good. Should have turned off damage, right? Yeah, let's respawn it quickly. And what the heck? Oh yeah. What even is this? I am almost 100% sure that it's just one vehicle, because if that was more than one vehicle, then I would be, or my PC would be dead. So I respawned it, and let's do it again. But yeah, I have been steadily working on that new ship, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how it's going, because thanks to the update I managed to make the ship go 77 knots with half the power that it had before, which is amazing. And it's now very maneuverable. It just works perfectly, just how I wanted. And I think I could technically do a new career episode about changing Comfortian to be similar, as in making it go insanely high speeds, which I think is possible now with the update. And yeah, I think I could definitely do that. So maybe keep an eye out for a career episode. Maybe. Also, I'm just going to say this now because I've said it to many people before. Not publicly on YouTube, but on Discord and places like that. When I finish either Campellian or Comfortian, currently it's looking like Campellian is going to be the ship that's going to be finished soon. I am probably going to work on a new 90-meter ship, and I am going to make a series about that, because that's going to be a ton of fun to build it. So, can't wait for that. I really can't, because I'm getting a bit bored of just working on the same two ships, but not that much, because I regained some motivation after I needed to take a break because the update broke the ships for like a week. So I regained some motivation. But yeah, it is looking good with the truck. Um, maybe lower gear. And this is actually like the first time I've built a working gear system like this, or actually I have built one on the cave mining vehicle. But pretty much the first time, if we discount that. And yeah, it does steer a lot less. I just need to change up the sensitivity. Alright, so the max on this seems to be around 110 kilometers an hour. It's not bad, I mean it's a truck. Or what I might do is add those 4 cylinders, as I said at the start of the episode. And I am driving it like a total maniac right now. But that's just to see if it handles well when a total maniac drives it. Boom. Great, let's save it. Or what? Not save it. Let's change this to 15, maybe 13. And let's also add those 4 cylinders. Or no, actually 3 cylinders. Because I can't count. That's pretty usual with me. And connected with a manifold. Here. Perfect. And now let's see if it adds, or how much power it adds. Doesn't look like it adds much in the first 3 gears, but it should steadily increase with the higher we get. Yeah, that's definitely an increase. Not that much of an increase. Or it is quite a big increase with acceleration. Oh damn. Oh, that's because the RPS surged. Oh no. Wow. That's some nice braking performance. Kinda don't know what to do. Still haven't added any doors to this, so I might make this automatic, or no, I'm not going to make this automatic, definitely not, because I like manual a lot more, but I could make it be switchable to automatic. It's still below 2 RPS. Oh, now I know why. Because we need to add a blinker. Um, because this is all connected to a push to toggle. Or toggle to push, sorry. So, blinker. Um, or right, and this will be connected to the little blinker. The words have been difficult today. And let's do 0 0.2, 0 0.2. And now if we switch into 7th, oh, it actually handles it like a champ. Right, I was hoping for it to be very bad. Yes. And why isn't it doing stuff? Because I don't know. Because there is no clamp. Is there? Yeah, the clamp is weird. Maybe because because this is a weird version, old one. No. Now why is that? Why can it? Oh, because clamp is disabled. Okay. Alright, this should be the final product. I'm pretty sure. This should be the working thing. So I'll stop it. Let's wait for the RPS to lower. Yeah, it wants to lower it. That's great. That's what we wanted. And I've been recording for an hour and a half, which is, I'd say, a good time for a neat building video. So that's good, and I hope you enjoyed watching me actually get this working for the first time, because this doesn't usually happen with things like this with me. And yeah, see ya.